Hey, this is Andy Johnson over at the Andy Johnson Group, and today we are diving into the March 2026 numbers. As a reminder, we're going back to March so we can give you the real numbers, the hard numbers, not preliminary. But if you want to know what kind of April looked like or what May is shaping up to be, please just reach out and I can give you those as well. So what did March look like? Well, in Palm Beach County, the market was surging into the spring with a 14.3% increase in closed sales and total dollar volume jumping 44.2%. That's $1.9 billion. Now, a lot of that was driven by the luxury market, but there are plenty of other sales taking place. Now, St. Lucie County, this is a value-driven active market. Sales volume has spiked significantly and showing a massive increase in transaction activity compared to the prior year. So it is still happening there, but it's shaping up a little bit different. And as a reminder, we absolutely serve as Martin County and Broward as well, but these two kind of give us a snapshot of what's going on. Martin tends to fall in between what's going on St. Lucie and Palm Beach, and then Broward is something totally separate, but I can't have this video be 30 minutes. So these are what we're covering. So the big start is inventory and supply. Palm Beach County single family homes tightened to 4.7 months. As a reminder for this, basically 4 to 5 months is moving into a neutral market. 5 months is probably a neutral market, and then 6 months and above is going to be a buyer's market. We're at 4.7 months with homes selling relatively quickly. The condo market has tightened as well to 8.5 months of inventory, which is very typical for this time of the year. We'll probably start to see that supply start to build again as we move into summer and the later parts of the year. So what's going on in St. Lucie? Inventory remains steady at 5.2% months of inventory for the single family homes, while the condo market is definitely higher at 9.3%, and that's giving buyer the most selection and power in the region. So pricing versus reality, what are we seeing? Palm Beach County, the single family median sales price is up 3.2% to $645,000. Sellers are averaging a 94% sales to list pricing ratio. Palm Beach condos, we're seeing a $330,000 median sales price, which is up 6.5%, and they're getting 92.1% sales price to list price ratio. If we move into St. Lucie County, the median sales price is $417,750. That's up 4% year over year. Sellers are actually seeing 95.3% sale to list ratio, and St. Lucie condos are at $315,000 with inventory up quite a bit there, so a lot of power there. So what are we seeing? How long are homes sitting and what's going on? Again, we just saw condo volume spike because we're in season. We have the snowbirds buying properties. Things will probably taper down now, but Palm Beach County single family homes average days on market was 42 days. Homes are selling relatively quickly. Palm Beach County condos were at 71 days. St. Lucie single family homes 102 days. This is actually a little bit slower than last year. And St. Lucie condos are going to be higher than that. They're probably, I believe, at about 120 days. I don't know why I don't have the actual number here, but we can definitely get that for you as well. They are sitting the longest though. So what does this look like overall? Kind of let's spotlight what's going on. A tighter supply, shorter days on market, single family homes means that you're going to have more competition. You're going to have closer sale to list prices, and you need to be ready to move on the great ones. So single family homes are definitely a more competitive market, whereas condos, which both Palm Beach County and St. Lucie County were closer to a 9-month supply, which is well into a buyer's market. You have more choices and more power, maybe an excellent time to jump into that market. And keep in mind, as we move through the rest of the year, typically condo supply is going to continue to grow. The higher that inventory goes, the more choices you have and the more power you typically have during a negotiation, which is something to remember. Now, I do want to mention in both sectors, in all sectors, a finished property or a finished home versus something that needs work. A lot of our inventory in both markets is made up of overpriced listings where sellers are being unrealistic in the amount of work that needs to be done to their property. You know, if you had a seller that updated a bathroom in 2000 and is kind of figuring like, okay, you know, I can get a bathroom done for $5,000, or, you know, to renovate my entire property would cost, you know, $70,000. It's just not the case anymore. You know, with the increased cost of labor and the increased cost of materials, what it is to renovate a home now is much more than it used to be. Also, due to inventory in really both sectors, we find ourselves where buyers are mainly only willing to purchase those types of properties when they're going to have sweat equity at the end, right? So basically, hey, if you're going to buy a house for $500, it needs $50,000 worth of work. It better be worth $600 or more when it's done. That is what buyers are looking for if they're going to buy a property that hasn't been completely renovated. So what does that mean? What are we looking at? What are the actual actionable steps? And why is this important? Let's talk about it for sellers first. In Palm Beach County specifically, with single family homes, you do have leverage with 4.7 months of supply. However, buyers are savvy. Interest rates are still at about 6.2% as of today, and they are not hopping on anything and everything that moves. They are still looking for good deals or a finished product. So really focus on where you're pricing your home when you first hit the market, because if you overprice, you may get some activity, but they are not going to offer on your home. The longer you sit, the worse it is. So you really want to be strategic in your pricing when you first list. As far as Palm Beach condos, because we have an excess of supply, you really need to focus on being in the best condition, being one of the nicest condos on the market, or being the best value. Best value does not necessarily mean the cheapest. It means the best value for what you are offering. Now, that is directly tied to price, but you need to understand what that actually looks like for you and do a deep dive in how to create or position yourself as the best value on the market, so that when buyers are coming in, they choose your unit and you don't end up sitting for 6 months. Single family homes in Port St. Lucie, you're a pretty balanced market. So, doing all the little things to make your home stand out, because there are a lot of choices out there, do make a big difference. Making sure that the landscaping looks good, that the windows are clean, just set yourself apart. Those little things are going to make a difference. It is always important, of course, to position your home and your price correctly on the market and make sure you're marketing it all over the place and everywhere so that you're getting the most exposure possible. And in St. Lucie County with the condos, it's tough right now. It just is, folks. So doing what you can do, doing everything that you can do in the way of trying to make your product, your home, the best it can be. Absolutely positioning yourself so you have the best possible value, making sure that your marketing is on point. Like if you have a St. Lucie condo, you need to make sure that you are positioned just right to stand out from all the other condos, because the truth is you are just not going to have as many buyers walk through the door. And if you're not having as many buyers walk through the door, you need to make the buyers that do walk through the door want to act on your property. Okay, so for buyers, what does it mean? Well, listen, we just talked. If you're looking for a single family home in Palm Beach County, if it's a great house that was just renovated and priced well, you don't get to wait 2 weeks to make a decision. You need to be ready to act. You need to have your pre-approval letter if you're financing ready to go, your proof of funds letter if you're paying cash. You need to have an understanding of the market and be ready to jump. If you are a buyer that is ready to take on a project, I'm telling you, there are some great deals out there, but you have to be ready to pass up on opportunities, meaning, you may like a house, but don't get stuck on that one. Continue to look for things that fit your criteria with the understanding that you're going to turn that property into exactly what you want. Now, that means you need to decide on areas that you like, because you can't change where the home is located. But as long as it's checking the major boxes of what you need, fire through them. Just keep going after them. And I'm telling you, you can get some great deals. We just offered on a property that had just dropped their price by $75,000. We went another $50,000 under that and got it. They got multiple offers right after we locked it up, but we were positioned correctly. We knew what we were looking for. We jumped in and we got it. Palm Beach condos, that were really condo buyers for Palm Beach County or St. Lucie. Just don't be afraid to ask. Again, if you can avoid getting tied up too much in one particular unit and falling in love, and you look at it more as a value proposition, and you just are willing to kind of keep going after condos or condos in a specific building that you really like, I guarantee you eventually you're going to stumble upon a seller that has to sell. And there's a big difference in a seller that wants to sell and a seller that has to sell. One of the best opportunities for buyers is going to be sellers that have just come back on the market. And this is single family homes or condos. They're disappointed. They're emotionally upset. They feel like they just want to get rid of the home. And that can be one of the best times if you've got a strong offer. And I don't mean price, I'm not talking about price. I'm talking about the rest of the offer, the rest of your terms, to hop in there like the knight in shining armor and show them how, hey, listen, you're not a concern. You're going to get this deal closed, and they just need to take your price and then it's yours. So in condos, buyers, you definitely have the upper hand. Sellers, I'm sorry, but that's just what it is right now. So listen, that's kind of a nutshell of what's going on right now. There are so many little nuances that we just can't go into in this video. It is definitely a snapshot. You know, the luxury market versus homes that are $100,000, St. Lucie versus Broward, fixer-uppers versus homes that are completely renovated and done, all makes a difference, and those nuances in the market do matter. If you're wanting to have a conversation, or if you need more information about certain sections of the market, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love having those conversations. I love what I do. I love talking about real estate. I hope that you found this helpful, and thank you for checking out the video. If you have any question, please reach out. Thank you again so much for checking this out. I'll see you next time.